Laila Koastani looks at what's happening in Afghanistan in a way unlike most Americans.
For me, it is personal in a different way because I've lived the refugee experience.
Laila and her family emigrated to the United States soon after the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan in 1979. And her family brought centuries of Afghan tradition with them, but breaking one of those solidified her love of her new home.
When I was 12, my father was going back to Afghanistan, and he wanted to marry me off to a man who was 51, and my brother was already enlisted in the U.S. Navy. So he physically got on a plane and kept my father from taking me to Afghanistan, and it was because of the help of his Navy commander. And so when I think about the reason that I'm still alive and doing well in life, it's really because of the Navy.
So Laila joined the Navy as well and served in Afghanistan. She and other female vets have a special knowledge of the perils that face Afghan women now that the U.S. has pulled out of the country after providing women the freedom to earn a place in that country's institutions.
Especially if there were women serving in these roles, for example, Parliament or any governance role, any woman in that capacity would also have been publicly identified.
And you're pretty confident if they're found, they'll be killed?
I can't imagine why the Taliban would not kill them. They would be a direct threat, and they pose a direct threat to the lifestyle and the society that the Taliban want to prop up in Afghanistan.
Ashley and Laila are part of a veterans nonprofit organization called Task Force Pineapple, which is looking to help Afghanis that they worked with during the war escape before they're hunted down by the Taliban.
On the ground, the situation is getting worse.
Crowds of Afghan families, wartime translators, and
Translators face threats from the Taliban in real time.
This happened with the help of God.
As an Afghan woman, I wouldn't trust them.
Assuring the safety of all those who have worked with the
U.S. military is now forced to develop new ways to get evacuees to safety.
We know that our security force partners have been beheaded, their children have been murdered in front of them. We receive daily images and videos of our Afghan security force partners being hunted down, their family members being killed.
And they are, these vets in this task force say, Afghanistan's best and brightest.
I considered my counterpart, my Afghan Special Forces captain, I really thought he was going to go off and become president of Afghanistan. He was incredibly charismatic, incredibly intelligent, brave. He was a very close friend of mine.
Is he still alive?
No, he is not.
After serving side by side with these Afghan soldiers and others fighting the Taliban, these vets believe they now owe all of them a way out, a path to a new life.
It's the American dream, right? We want to open the American dream to our Afghan allies.